I'm an Air Force airman. I am a bow hunter. I am a fisherman. I am Mark of all trades. Welcome back to Mark of all trades. Thanks for tuning in on this enclosed cargo trailer build. If you haven't, you want to make sure that you look at the previous episodes and see how we got here. So today we're going to be repainting the tongue of this trailer. As you can see, it's got a lot of rust on here, and the whole goal of today is to get the rust off and put a nice coat of magic paint on it. One of the first things that I did was remove the handle that brings down the jack. And so by doing that, I just undid the screw that you see here on the right. And then the next step that I wanted to do was remove the actual rust from the tongue. So I wasn't sure which one would work best, so I got two types of rust remover scrapers or wire brushes. So this one I got from Tractor Supply, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go, so I figured I might as well give it a try. And then the wire brush, I expected it to really get in there and get that rust right off of the trailer. So getting to the tongue of the trailer, you can see that it's in pretty rusty shape. So I'm starting off with the Brillo pad that I got from Tractor Supply, and I'm using my cordless drill. I think it may be about 2 minutes into it, I realized that I'm going to need something with a little bit more power. So eventually I went on and got my power drill that plugs in with electricity, and that had a little bit more juice, and I was able to get a lot more of the rust off. Let me know in the comments what you guys would have done to get the rust off. Maybe there's an easier way that I just didn't know about. Or would you guys just paint over the rust with some kind of spray and just make that a quick, easy fix? Alright, so we have our Wagner Control Sprayer 250. And I just recently heard about Magic Paint. So I've heard about them through forums and online, and also my dad did a tractor rebuild, and he said that this paint is holding up really well. I think he's had it on there for about almost 2 years. So I figured I'd give this a try. I got it in matte black. So I think it was $30 for a gallon at Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply is the only place that I could see that actually had the magic paint. So we're gonna see how this goes through the control sprayer, and hopefully we get a good coat down. The next thing I did is take a couple garbage bags, cut them in half, and then put them on the trailer because I didn't want any overspray to go onto the white trailer, and that just really wouldn't look good and professional like. Another thing I did do was on the metal here where the jack is and where you attach the ball, I covered those so that there wouldn't be any paint, as well as the chains that connect to your truck. I didn't want that to have a bunch of paint on it as well. So I figured that this would make it have a clean, nice, sharp look once I pulled the paint off. So we're finally getting to the point where I'm actually spraying the tongue with the Wagner sprayer. And let me tell you that doing this with the sprayer versus a brush, just the overall cleanness of how it looks once it's sprayed on, it's not even comparable. And so I had to make sure that I was getting the right distance away. I didn't want it to be too globbed on, but I didn't want it to be too fine of a mist either. It took me a while to kind of find that balance, but once I did, I really got a hang of it. One thing I wanted to touch on was how I got the rust off of that tongue. So I know I talked earlier about the Brillo pad versus the wire brush. And so I really thought that that wire brush was going to get a lot of the rust off, and it did. It got a lot of the surface rust off, but there was still a little bit of rust deep down into it. Surprisingly, that Brillo pad just really got in there and showed the true silverness of the tongue, and I think that that made that paint stick onto it that much better. And I don't really anticipate any rust coming back through because once I put the coats onto the tongue, I'm going to seal it with a clear coat. Here's the results of the first coat. I think it turned out really well. There are little spots where it is a little spotty, but again, this is the first coat, so we're just putting down our base layer, and then we're going to come back with a second coat that's just going to really put a nice sheen over top of it and fill in those patchy parts. If you guys have ever used Magic Paint, let me know in the comments. This is my first time using it, and it seems super easy to work with. And again, you can see here, it looks awesome. This is about 8 hours later, roughly, and I just wanted to give you guys just a quick glance at how the first coat looks once it's dried. I think once the second coat gets on there, it'll really have a nice strong look to it, and it'll really just give that trailer a nice pop. It's the next day, it's been 24 hours, and so now here we are applying the second coat of the spray. So it's nice when I'm spraying it that it kind of goes on glossy, but obviously you saw from the video previously that when it dries it's a matte finish. So I'm able to really see the spots that I've gotten heavily, or the spots that I need to kind of come back and maybe fill in just a little bit more. And I'm telling you guys, this sprayer makes such quick work of this. I honestly think that the cleanup time takes a lot more than the actual spraying of the paint. It's just so nice to use this, and again, you can see how it goes on, and it just has that nice finish on there, and there's no brush strokes, so it makes it that much more nice. And here's the finished product, guys. I think it looks phenomenal. I'm really glad that we went with the magic paint. It just really has such a good look to it. I think that this paint adhered to the tongue so well, and I'm really happy with the results. And again, you can see why I bagged the chain and I taped everything off. So once I pull everything off, it's gonna have those nice sharp lines, and it's gonna look super clean. I appreciate everybody who's been watching this trailer build. I especially thank you guys for the kind words that you've been giving me, and the encouragement to keep moving forward in this. There's a couple more things that I want to do to this trailer, so really make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on anything. I think come hunting season, this trailer is going to be a nice plus to whenever we go hunting the public land. So again, subscribe, make sure you like the video. Let me know in the comments how you think that this turned out. Should I have done something different? Would you have done something different? How would you have tackled this project yourself?